How's it going?
Sean is driving.
That's all you need to be sold.
Someone hacked my account and was writing bad things about Alex. Well, he can't see me anyway because he generally ignores me and he deserves it, so it's all good. I'll unhack it later.
I'll agree that I deserve it, Paul, but I could read it. So, ha, in your face.
You had me filtered until you turned it off.
Well, yeah, but it was because your account was spamming all those bad messages.
That doesn't happen anymore.
No, that's why I removed the filter, Paul.
Hasn't happened for weeks.
Yeah, but I haven't used the overlay in weeks, have I now?
No, children. Calm down in the back of the car. We're nearly there.
This car doesn't have a backseat.
That's the car behind.
We can stop off for ice cream if it will stop you two arguing.
That's the one that
I'll turn the bet bot off for now. Remember to turn it back on near the end. The bets are open, but there's no point having it on the screen.
Well, you still drove the Beamer, I think.
Yeah. The Ben and Jerry's one.
That's the one. I couldn't think of the name.
All right. They're right.
The one that was saying noob boob noob. Gee,
Yeah, I was on the
who was doing that, kid? That was definitely hacked. I'd never do that.
Your account may have been compromised, Paul.
Sunday night trip.
Misclick hype.
No.
Wait,
I literally went to click my screen and I was on OBS and it switched scene.
The Sunday night trucking intro started.
Well, that woke everyone up.
Yep.
I was trying to press the space key and I was like, why is it not changing? Hello.
Well, people will be thinking it's back now.
Well, call it Sunday night.
I was seeing if anybody had actually... Oh, wow, is Bumblebee out then? 52, 27, 27. So there's at least 4 out by the look of it. Or maybe they're carrying on. These are fast trucks, yeah.
I think it's a bit dark to show the livery now.
Yeah. Let me just turn the lights on so we can see it.
What car are you driving, Sean? Are you sure you're in our car? Anyway, I'm quickly gonna get something to eat. Be right back.
Alright.
He'll be back in about an hour then.
No, because I need to drive in, what, 25 minutes?
One dart race. Yep. Half of it's daylight. Well, less than half of it's daylight. About a third of it's daylight. 2/3 of it's in the dark.
I'll give you a rundown of what's happened, Paul. I'm consistently slow for some reason.
Keep the car on the track and find your own pace. Do I like night racing? I'd rather race in the day, but it comes with the territory if you do endurance. I mean, some tracks are lit, but the Nürburgring last week and Silverstone this week, they're not lit. Week before last one.
Okay, Bob, that's the class car approaching. Full flag. gap to Campos behind is now 7.7 seconds.
He's actually waiting.
Right.
Are there pigs flying?
Clear
Yep.
right.
8th place. You've just done a 158.72.
Kevin, 1980, by the way. Thank you, 28 months, Kevin.
On your left. Clear left.
Nope, there's no lights in at Silverstone.
Faster car behind.
On your right. Clear right.
How to race his driving. All I care about in endurance is that stay out of trouble, keep it consistent. He's doing pretty well. Like, if he can, like, whatever his pace is, if he can drive at his pace, lap after lap after lap,
7th position.
that's all you can ever ask of anybody. When I was racing, I was not driving at my pace lap after lap. I was all over the place. Spent way too much money on iRacing. Thing is, once you've bought the tracks and the cars you need and stuff, you've only got the monthly fee.
Left side.
You can stop that when you're not
Clear
racing.
left.
It's just accumulating all the tracks and cars. That's the problem. Trucker J, how you doing? Well, you've got to remember, Pups doesn't have, you know, he doesn't have the steering wheel, the pedals, the widescreen monitor that me and Alex have, the rig. Like, he's got just a standard monitor at his desk with I think a G29. So that in itself makes him less consistent. He's doing pretty well. At the end of the day, we're here to just, you know, have fun, enjoy an endurance race. We have no expectation of winning. We just like taking part, you know? Nah, Trucker J, I think you're dreaming.
Okay, Paul, there's a faster car approaching. Blue flag.
Obviously, the cold has gone to your head over there in Canada, Trucker J. Having delusions.
On your left. Clear left.
You race on a 15-inch laptop with a TMX Pro Clampsy living room desk. So do a lot of people, Armin. Thank you for 3 years, Melting Lava. And hello. Thanks for the support.
Faster car behind. Blue flag.
Right side.
Doing well, mate. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Whoa, that car just disappeared on me. Found the autopilot video really useful and help you break through a knowledge block. Nice. Yeah, I've got to get back into the tutorials, do the rudder one. How much fuel have you got?
30 litres.
Okay, Paul, there's a faster car approaching.
Yeah, you can do, plenty of people do this game in VR, Tenzin. There's people who stream it. I can't watch a VR stream. It's just nasty. The problem with VR, as from a viewer's perspective, is there's no image stabilization, so you get like all the tiny head movements of somebody moving their head. You get all the tiny little shakes.
Right side.
Unlike, say, a GoPro that kind of smooths that all out. And you end up with this horrible effect that makes you feel a bit ill when you watch, I think. I don't like it. Like, on a GoPro, it'll actually record an image bigger than what you see, and then it'll use image stabilization to basically move the reference frame around that image to keep the image stable. Whereas the VR headsets don't do that at all. And if they did, it would be a lot more watchable. Well, I don't know. I haven't. To be fair, I haven't tried the Quest 2, Stinky. I don't know if that has it. Fair play, but all the ones I've tried don't have it, and all the streams I've watched clearly don't have it.
There's a faster car approaching. Gap 2, Campos behind us now.
But I'm not really keeping up on the VR side. No, Azkaban, you can't. You have to have 2 drivers.
All right. Clear right. Clear left.
I think with that, Larry, I changed PC and never reinstalled all the VR stuff. Lewis Sim, all the information's on the screen. If you look on the far left of the screen, just above the rig cam, it shows you there, lap 84 of 183. Local time in the sim, 1854. Race time, 3 hours, 12:57 remaining out of 6. Who the hell was that?
Dude, I know you're Spanish, so you're probably not able to, but do everybody a favor and shut the fuck up.
Karma is shit, man.
What?
There's some in-game voice chat going on. There's some guy called Manuel who's just been a bit of a troll, and the other guy going,
Lol.
do us all a favour and shut the up. To which his answer was, ha ha ha.
Lol.
I'm back.
Did you just miss that in-game voice fun there, Alex?
No, I had my headset on. He was being a bit of an idiot earlier in the race as well.
Okay, Paul. There's a faster class car approaching.
It definitely wasn't Patrick. It was some guy called Manuel. Patrick is angry. He was a bit playful.
They're all the same at the end of the day.
Blue flag.
Left side. Clear left.
It's finishing clean better than winning. I think it depends on where you're at with your racing and the race strength that you're in. Like if you're in a race where you clearly should win, because you know your strength of field is not as good as you, then you're gonna want to win, right? But if you're in a strength of field average or high, then you're gonna focus on a clean finish and hope for a win. You see the streams of people having fun in GT3 cars, and I don't want to do that. Not sure what you mean. Oh, you mean like winning at all costs kind of driving? I'd think about letting this Bruno guy go past you.
Pressure. Keep your exit speeds up.
This Bruno's clearly impatient.
There's nothing wrong with it.
On your left. Clear left.
I recognise that car.
Yep.
It's the one that held me up, isn't it?
There's a faster class car approaching.
Referring to license whether winning matters, it doesn't. Oh, right, okay. I see.
Blue flag.
Yeah. iRacing splits things into
Keep it
two.
on the track, Sean, come on.
iRacing splits things into two categories. There's your safety, and then there's how well you drive in terms of your position that you finish race. So like, for your safety, it's about keeping within track limits and not hitting other cars, not losing control. Did you not see him, but
I couldn't do anything. The car was
Right
sliding.
side. Clear right.
yikes.
All right, Paul. You're reeling Campos in. The gap's now 0.43.
So you've got your safety, which governs your license, and then there's where you finish in races, which governs your iRating.
Left side. Clear left.
I think you're losing focus, pups. So settle down, just bring it home, mate.
8th place.
Thank you, Christoph.
Yeah, it was a good save. He could have easily ended up in the wall, which would have done a lot of damage to the car. I've got a feeling that Bruno guy, when Bruno was behind him, I could see him starting to get a little bit rattled and overdriving. And I think that's just upset his rhythm a bit. Blue is safety while white is iRating skill. Yeah, so where you see A with a number in blue, that's the license. I think this race is an A license only race. So you have to have an A license, which means you've done a whole lot of races where you've kept it clean, right?
Hold your line.
And then in the whites is your actual driver iRacing. So when you drive, when you enter a,
What an idiot.
when you enter a ranked race in iRacing, it will put you up against similar driver skill
Oh,
level
him.
based on your iRating. I don't know if it's a brake test. I think the guy in front is just...
Why did he even slow down so much?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm guessing he made a mistake. Does the license indicate what cars you can drive or what races you can enter? Yes, it does. Yeah, absolutely. Certain cars come with a minimum license, as do certain series of races.
The gap's now 9.2 seconds.
Which, when you start iRacing, you start off with a rookie license, and it limits you quite a lot to what you can drive. Then you get your D, it opens things up a bit, and then you get the C, it opens up a lot. And then you go up to B and A. A pro license, as far as I understand, a pro license, to get that, you have to enter in the league. I think it's something to do with you enter in the league races, and essentially you finish in a certain position in the season, and then they give you the pro license. iRacing gives you that license, I believe. I don't know the details. Yeah, I mean, night gaming, it makes a lot of sense in a way. You don't want somebody new to iRacing just jumping in an LMP1 and zipping around the track, right? You have to kind of earn that. I've got an A 3 point something. Can you get out a rookie in one day if you drive really well? So, here's the thing. To get out of rookie, to get out a rookie, you need to not focus at all on winning. Don't focus on your position in any way. Don't even qualify. Just start from the pit. Drive out and stay out of trouble. Stay within track limits. Avoid all contact. Finish the race. Your rating will go up. Keep doing that. After not that many races, you'll get a D license. And it won't, just literally don't focus on racing. Just focus on clean racing. To get up to an A license takes some time. Because when you go racing, you'll want to compete, and inevitably you'll overrun the track, or you'll just end up in a mess. Somebody will lose it in front of you. You'll get a 4X, your car will be damaged. Like, if you look at my race yesterday, I think, I got a drive-through penalty because it got accumulated over 17 incident points. It was an awful race. It's just what happens. iRacing is like snakes and ladders. Like, you'll do a lot of work like that, and then all of a sudden you go doodle. When you get into Class D, you can get into a lot of races where they have a quick repair, which is nice, because you'll get in the race, and if you do have carnage, you can go back to the pit, 100% repair your car, and get back on the track.
Blue flag. There's a faster car approaching.
Does your rating expire over time? No. In fact, at the end of the season, it will adjust. So the licensing system is based on a score from like 0 to 5, effectively. If you're in the A license, like say, what's Pups? Pups is an A 3.5. So if his score goes down to 1, it will automatically demote him to B license. If his score is less than 2 at the end of the season, it will automatically demote him. But it also works the other way. If you can go up to 3 at the end of the season, you'll jump up a license. And if you hit 4, it will automatically jump up a license. It gives you a boost, basically.
On your right. Clear right.
So you can move between licenses during a season if you're on the border. How much fuel have you got now?
7.7 litres.
Alright, so probably next lap then.
Yeah.
The max iRacing in theory is a 5.0. It can't go anywhere from there. And, you know, I used to have a 5.0, and so did Alex when we did the Nordschleife. The Nordschleife is a fantastic place for getting safety rating because it has so many turns, and iRating is based on how many turns you make during the race, effectively. It's how it calculates it.
Well, I can't let this slide. It's a 4.99. 5.0 doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Paul,
I said
fastest
effectively.
car approaching. Blue flag, V12.
Far left. Clear left.
Why is he doing this?
Blue flag.
Dude, you do realise our closing speeds are completely different, right?
Clear left.
That LMP was a bit petty then, I think. Like, driving in front of him and just making a point, like, really? It's a bit sassy.
V5.
Pit stop is all set up.
Yeah. Probably some of the worst driving I've ever done.
It's fine, dude.
You can make up for it on your next stint like I can. No.
And I can completely mess it up now.
Alright, just bring it home safe, pups.
It's so frustrating when you know you can do better than what you're doing.
I know
Yep.
that feeling, mate.
Same, I had it, like I said, I had it 2 weeks ago and Paul had it on distance. It happens.
Farrell is now in the lead.
Don't bother fighting that guy because you know, you're going to pit anyway, so it's pointless.
And he just did it.
Yeah, Katie, you know, I was frustrated at the end of my stint. Like, again, it comes down to personal ability.
Right, well,
If you
there's
know
left.
you can do better. Box, box, box. Box, box. Box, box, box.
Blue flag.
Box, box.
Car
Box,
behind's a faster
box.
class. Watch your speed limit in the pits.
God damn it.
Watch your speed limit in the pits.
box.
Engage limiter. Box in.
Box in.
480 meters. We'll need to stop again to get to the end.
Don't miss the pit stall.
Oh,
100
boy.
meters.
Pit, pit, pit. Pit, pit, pit.
50 meters.
Dread pit pit.
Well
I'm
done,
out of
mate.
car. Don't well done me, Paul. That's just terrible driving
Dude,
on
the
my
car
part.
is in
We'll need to
one
stop
piece. Personally, you're not happy. I understand that, but the car's fine.
Them 2 laps where I just kept locking up. I don't know what happened.
Well, I think when that Bruno guy was getting closer, I could see you starting to get a bit rattled, and I think that's maybe like a concentration, or maybe you was focusing on him, and that's when you started making mistakes. Like, up until then, you were doing pretty well.
I'll make it up on my next one.
I kind of feel like changing tires every stop is the wrong decision.
Yep.
Oh well.
I think we changed tyres one more time and then I took Paul's to the end last time, didn't I?
Yep. But then I think I'd looked after him pretty well on that
Yeah.
stint. But like the stint you just had, I imagine be quite a few bits of damage on them tires.
As
Don't know
traffic
what you're on
approaching,
about.
watch your mirrors.
Oh, just lockups.
Passion lockups, that's what they want.
Mr. Horrocks, 85 months. Thank you very much.
Flag. Faster cars approaching.
Exactly, loading up the tires of passion. Yeah, Crash Andy, I think we have to seriously start considering double stinting the tires. For now, we're just changing them because we want to take that out the equation. Because if you double stint the tires on the second stint, the driver has to be a bit more careful, right?
Right side.
Blue flag.
Clear right.
The only incidents I think I've had the biggest incident, I guess. I got the tyre on the grass and put it sideways. I didn't hit anything. Got it back on the track. That's probably the biggest, ooh boy, moment. Although to be fair, Pup's had some interesting times with cars in front of him.
Behind. Gaps now 7.5.
I mean, I completely cut turn one.
Okay, Paul. There's a faster car approaching. Blue flag. Krabs is leading the race. Stay on it. Keep digging. B12.
All right. Clear right.
Yeah, Crash Dandy, the more of these we do, the more experience we get with doing them. And then we can start, tightening things up a little bit. But, we've been in a handful of endurance races. Like Alex done more. He's raced with other people. But for me and
I'm
Pups, we've
surprised
not
the
done
track
very
hasn't
many.
really cooled down yet. It's still 22 degrees.
Blue flag.
What would be a satisfactory? If we could finish top 10, I'd be very happy. But midfield, I think we'll take it.
On your right. Clear right.
Blue flag. The gap ahead is now 1.4.
That's the other thing about iRacing's licenses. It has a road license, and it has an oval license, and it has a dirt license. So if you want to do ovals, you're going to have to build your license up on the oval, but it won't carry over to your road license. Unless you do long practice stints offline, it's hard to learn. Yeah, I agree with that, Pep. Like I say, we did test it on the Nürburgring. About another 55 minutes, Milchaga. Top 5 bet was a brave bet, Alban. Katie Fire Chief, thank you for 2 months. Hello.
On your left. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear left.
Blue flag. Alright, Paul, there's a faster class car approaching.
That's one. Phased out, 64 months, thank you.
Blue flag. V6. That last line was at 157, back on 6.
Right side. Clear right. Car right. Clear right.
On the website trying to sign up is giving me the sub options if I pay for even a month. Is the game included for sub price or do I need to go purchase from Steam? I've never done it via Steam personally, so I'm not really sure about that bit. You can normally get some kind of offer code, Mr. Squidgen, that will give you like a bonus car or something. And then you can put a referrer email address in. So if you want to put mine in, that would be gaming@squirrel.tv as the referrer. But if you can find a code online, use a code. Because you might be, just like quickly Google iRacing discount codes or offer codes. You might be able to find something. Yeah, exactly. You know, you can often find a three months for $5 type deal. It's worth doing it. It's worth a quick Google.
Faster cars approaching.
Because 3 months is a good amount of time to find out if you... Oh my god.
Clear left.
There was just no need for that dive.
Blue flag. They get behind us now.
If I didn't turn out of that corner, he would have crashed into me.
Yeah, that was reckless.
Clear right.
Proper idiot.
Christopher Bell 3.
Blue flag.
Hold your line. Clear right.
There's a faster car approaching.
The 3 should say end. Idiot.
Blue flag.
Clear left.
That was just reckless driving. Nah, they're not Butler. The LMP1s are super fast. LMP2s are only, like, through the slower sections of track, they're barely quicker than GTE. It's only when they get speed, they get the downforce from the aero, that's when they stick to the track. But the LMP1s are just like rockets. You found a 3 months of $5. There you go. So punch the code in, and then for the referral email address, put gaming@squirrel.tv. Hashtag sellout, yeah.
I'll be right back.
Shameless plug. Well, you know, I'm just educating the man. If he wants to, he doesn't have to use it. If he wants to, he can. You know, we just got some assistance here. I figure it's not too much to ask to put my email address in.
What was that?
Nah, you can't really report people for just bad driving. If that was the case, their inbox would be cluttered. You never reported anyone? Really just, yeah, I've reported a couple of people. I reported a guy a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, for intentional driving. Like, he literally sat on the side of the track.
Instead of the track.
He spun out and then sat there at the side of the track, watched like 2 cars go past, then saw another 2 cars coming, and then just literally from the standing start just drove into them. And one of them was me. And I just went... Phew. I was like, well, I'm reporting that. iRacing can decide. And it was on the last lap of the race, which was just very, very annoying. How did they investigate? So when you submit your report, you have to send a clip of the replay. So you save your replay, and then when you send it in, you send in a clip of the section and you know your reasons for reporting. But they never actually let you know what their decision was. They never tell you. They only inform the person that you report.
Hey, Stefano, what are you doing, man?
But, you know, I don't report very often, but if it's, like, quite deliberate. Because, you know, things get a bit passionate on the track. There's a bit of argy-bargy or whatever. It's fine. But sometimes people go too far.
Hey, Stefano, man.
It's Manuel. He was the one chatting before.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Good luck, Mr. Squidgen. Tycoon, thank you very much for subbing. Welcome to the Nut House. You just unlocked a whole bunch of cool emotes. Lost his license. What? When you reported someone biker's addiction? Well, the thing is, like, if nobody reports it, if nobody reports a person who's been deliberately reckless on track, he'll carry on. If people report him, then iRacing will be like, well, hang on, there's a bit of a picture building up here. Like I say, you know, you don't report just because you're annoyed. You're better looking at it in the cold light of day the next day, and then thinking about the rort, you know. Ty, yes it is, mate. There's 3 drivers in the team. Alex is currently doing his second stint, and then I'll be doing my second, and then Pups will do his. Yeah, well, yes and no about High Life. So, each car, when you get above like C license and above, you can change the car's setup, and that's when it starts to get interesting. I don't do car setups. I pay for a service. I pay for a service to get car setups from people who know what they're doing and are quite happy to invest a lot of hours into creating those setups. So each week you'll be able to download a setup for whatever car you want and whatever track's currently racing. You can do it yourself if you know what you're doing. Well, the main ones that you want to look at, Crash Dandy, would be the VRS, the PDS, Craig setup, and there's a new one, Apex Racing. They're like between them, generally speaking. There's no setup that's better than another one. What you tend to find is that, let's say VRS, you'll have, I think Jeremy Bootlop will probably mull at that name. He does a lot of the setups for the RSR, I think. Whereas if you went to PDS, you'll find to be a different guy that'll do it for RSR. And you may find that you like one setup and don't like the other. And it's not because the setup's bad, it's just because he's kind of tuned it for his driving style. And it may not match up with yours. Like, it may over-rotate, or maybe it's too stable, but it's too slow for you. So you got to find what you like, really. You have VRS, the Teammate SCSS, you don't like PDS. I think it depends on the cars as well. I've noticed some PDS setups are better than VRS for certain cars, and then for other cars, the VRS is better than PDS. But again, it's down to personal preference. And sometimes you'll get the setup and then you'll just need to tweak the brake bias, because these like really fast drivers like a lot of car rotation. So like a tiny bit of brake when you're turning will start to turn the car. They like that because it lets them rotate the car. But for less skilled drivers, it'll spin the car up. They're just not ready for it. So you're better off like just pushing the brake bias forward a little bit. You'll lose the rotation, but you'll get some stability. And, you know, just little things like that. But, you know, you can just sign up for a month with one of them and try them out.
That lap time was 1:56.60 flag.
All right. Clear right.
Generally changed quite a bit, but you're doing it at a solid starting point. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes if you have access to more than one setup, you can often just look at the two side by side and be like, they're using less wing than this one, you know. Maybe I'll just knock a little bit of wing off this. But beyond that, I don't do setups. Use the car rotation when I go rallying, but I don't know how to use it in GT3s. So it's effectively what you call trail braking, Armin. So if let's say you're barreling down the straight and there's a bend coming up, so you get heavy on the brakes, but at some point you need to turn in. But what you don't just lift the brake and then turn, right? So you kind of bleed the brake off. So as you're bleeding the brake off and you're turning the car, the more brake you leave on, the more the car will want to try and spin out. Well, you can play with that to effectively get the car to turn a bit quicker, just by leaving a very slight amount of brake on. Well, you just said you don't know how to use it on GT3s, Armin, so I'm just explaining it, but okay.
Okay, Paul, you're reeling this guy in. The gap's now.
There might be people watching who have no idea. Oh, that's a lot of smoke. A lot of rubber got left on the track then.
Behind us now, 11 seconds.
Min.
That lap was at 157.46. Past the car behind. Blue flag.
Left side. Clear left.
It's a cup of tea moment. It's always a cup of tea moment. Unless you're driving, then it's not a cup of tea moment. Do I adjust my brake bias at all? I tend not to adjust it through the race unless I feel... If I feel the car's, like, misbehaving, I will. I find the iRacing lighting a bit on-off. Especially on that stadium back there. As you go through Beckett's, there's like a stadium on the left. And the lighting's very, like, on-off as you go through it. I'm pretty certain it should be a little bit more subtle.
Alright, well, past the class car approaching.
On your left. Clear left.
Why did they have to dive into the chicane?
There's a car leaving the pit lane.
I swear they think they've got right away.
Yep. Royalty in it.
6th place.
It's not like they're much quicker through the chicane anyway.
Nope, and I have to get out of the throttle or out of the brake. I have to turn wide just to avoid them because they think they can make it stick.
Don't worry, Armin.
And I'm fine with them overtaking me in the chicane, but when they're like half a second back, and they're still diving in there, that's just stupid.
Yeah, exactly. He was like flashing, I'm going to go anyway, even though he's just literally got... It just probably slowed him down, and you. Because now he has to go in on the inside, and you've got to run wide. Yeah, I don't know, D-Pain, like, there's not that many cars around, and it still light snaps a bit.
Car behind.
I mean, it's not like I haven't got a graphics card that can handle all those lights. Why don't you like the China circuit, Donkey?
On your right. Clear right.
There's too many bendy corners. You see, I'm like that with Barcelona. I just, like, Barcelona just feels like, how can I put this? There's a lot of semicircles in Barcelona track, joined by straight bits. So there's an awful lot of, go all the way around, straight bit, go all the way around, straight bit. There's a lot of like 180 curves in it. I just don't like it very much.
7th position. You've just done a 157.00.
No, OG, I've only just got the water block. 3 days ago, just got the water block, so gotta work out when I can get it fitted. What does it look like, Oldman? I haven't actually opened the box. Yeah, I've raced at Suzuka. No, Cyberwolf, it's a custom water cool system. If you go to my YouTube channel and watch my studio tour video that I posted a couple of weeks ago, you can literally see the PC in that video. So in order to fit the 3090, I needed the water block, which has taken 3 weeks to get here from Germany. And then I need to get Dave to take the current one out and fit the new one and then refill it with liquid and stuff. I don't know, Craig. I've no idea, mate. If you go on Steam and have a look at the recommended requirements and then try and find a PC for that money, that's a good place to start. Why was it stressful, NL? Hans, why was racing stressful, do you think? Can I film it so we can see Dave's feet?
The gap is 0.40.
This is going to be tricky getting past these two. Because you think I was so hard on myself making mistakes, as I was pushing too hard. Well, I mean, I guess unless you can change that way of, unless you can change the way that you think about it, it's probably best not going back because it'll just make you stressed again.
Still there. Hold your line. Still there. Clear left.
This guy's not giving it up, even though he's like a second slower than Alex.
On your left. Clear left.
Awesome. Well done.
Yeah, Hans, it's...
Right side.
Oh my god, he nearly hit Alex then. That was scarily close. That was like a foot gap, if that. We would have been totally punted then. Quicker Alex can get past this guy, the better, because he's slowing Alex up, and that's allowing the other guy to hang around.
Right side. Still there. Still there. Clear right.
Always run wide. Ooh. And breathe. PC Kelly, thanks for 53 months of support.
Carol is leading the race.
Thanks for that, Alex. I can bring my heart rate back down now.
Come on, everything was under control.
Do you have any idea how close you was to being punted in the chicane?
The gap's now 1.1.
This chicane, you mean, or?
Yep, when you overtook the first guy at Cops or Stowe, I can't remember which one it is.
Stowe.
Stowe, and then as you went down to the chicane, he missed you by like 20 centimeters, probably. Nearly punted you.
Yeah, that's enough. I'm more interested to know how close we got in Michael's buckets.
Well, you were side by side, but he was decent gap.
Yeah.
I'm back.
You're welcome back.
Well, you just missed all that, Bubs.
Yep.
I heard when I came back. I heard it, so I reran the replay. I was like, "What's going on here?"
I mean, I was catching these guys with like 1.5 seconds to 3 seconds a lap.
Yeah, I could see you had the pace on them, but neither of them wanted to give it up.
Yeah, which is stupid, but no, I can race, they can't. Oh well, they don't have the pace to fight. That's why I kinda was maybe a bit too aggressive here, a few laps back. But I knew I had way more pace than them and I didn't want to be held up like at the start of the race.
They're still fighting each other.
Yep. I just like how I came up behind them and passed them within 2 laps and they're still fighting with each other. How is Jet's heart rate though?
How's what?
The heart rate of the people in chat.
Oh, everybody was like, "Oh, this is tense."
Y'all can trust me.
It's not that. We just didn't trust those guys. Yeah, exactly. You can easily get net coded on a gap like that.
Faster class is behind.
Why is it cut off on your screen, Jack? You must be... Click on your screen and take it out of cinema mode or whatever it's in. Top left, I think. Oh, that could be a 1x.
Car right. Stay right.
I appreciate him for waiting.
Can we catch 9 and 10? 20 seconds. Unlikely. Ketchup, Fanatec tend to make higher end driving equipment than Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster tend to aim for a more consumer market. They don't really have a high-tech offering. John is rubbish. Thank you for gifting 2 more subs. You've gifted quite a few recently, John. Silver Springs and Millhouse, welcome, guys. Whereabouts you got any good? Yep. I reckon this is still the best value wheelbase that Fanatec do. It's a belt-driven wheel, so it's not direct drive, but it's more than enough for most drivers. If you've got the cash for DD, go for it. But you know, that's less than half the money, and it's pretty good. It's not as accurate as DD, but it's still pretty good. The new one that's about 200 cheaper. Wait, 200 cheaper than what, Trucker Jay? If you can invest in a good set of pedals, then do it. Is direct drive much better? It's more immediate and responsive, and there's better fidelity.
P6, on that was at 156.64.
Yeah, Hans, at the end of the day, you know, it's a good driver's a good driver.
I think the car is damaged.
From what?
You can see a crack in the windscreen.
If only there was a part of the track where they can actually see the car. It's not affecting your lap times, Alex.
No, a cracked windscreen usually doesn't affect it.
Johnny's Rubbish, thanks for gifting a sub to Chocks. Welcome back, Chocks.
Grande Iván, gracias.
Okay, Paul, it's a faster class
Bird
car
Striker
approaching.
Silversmith. How much fuel have you got?
Blue flag.
38 liters.
At 10 laps.
Blue flag. To get behind is now 6.3. There's a group of faster cars bearing down on you.
All right, clear right.
P5, your lap time was at 156.66.
All right. Clear right.
Blue flag.
Right, I'm gonna go and stretch my legs and stuff.
Right.
Be right back, guys.
Car behind's a faster class.
Left side. Clear left.
Driving around in 16th place and he sends it like his 4th position.
Well, why doesn't that surprise me?
And I feel like he came really close to hitting me as well.
Yep.
Alright, Paul, there's a faster car approaching.
On your right. Clear right.
P4.
Car right, clear right.
Well done over driving the car when you're lapped.
Well. Oh, that's that guy that I let pass and then
Yeah,
into the back.
I know. I was gonna do the same to him.
156.74.
But it's too stupid to actually know how to race in an endurance multi-class race.
On your right. Hold your line, clear right.
Like the second he didn't start braking when I did, I knew he was gonna lock up because I already braked quite late. At least it's funny.
Okay, well, there's a faster car approaching. Blue flag.
On your left. Clear left. On your right. Clear right.
P5. There's a faster car approaching.